Hi, this is Ed from the Daily Rabbit Hole. Thank you to all my patrons. Have uploaded this also to Secret Journey. If you want to comment over there, I can also see your comments if that's easier for you. Here we are with another video here, and we've got some questions as we move on to 20 of the most funniest jokes upvoted on Reddit. Let's see if we can find some humor here. But before we get into that, let's just have a look at some comments from the last video there, which was on 20 strange things. This is from DK Knight. He states, or they state, I'm guessing it's Norway, in reference to that beautiful rolling summer-esque valley there with the green rolling hills, which are commented on in 20 strange things. Incredibly beautiful and majestic countryside. There are a few places like this. Go to Google Maps and set to satellite mode. Virtually every state is disseminated by overpopulation and development. Sorry, they say there are few places like this. There are very few places like that. Even in New Zealand, there are some places like that. But the problem is with New Zealand is the sun is so harsh. I mean, it's unbelievable. So that's one of the downers in living in New Zealand. Which New Zealand's got a majestic countryside. There's a lot of beautiful places, but sometimes if you go over to Europe, the kind of sun I'd expect in that location would be more diffused and warm, like a very warm light. Slightly diffused to the eye, so it doesn't have this piercing UV rate as you have in New Zealand, which feels like you're sitting in a microwave on a hot day. New Zealand's sun is the most harshest in the entire world. That's why a lot of the movie industry is moving here, because the light itself is so clear that it's very good for shooting movies. On the downside, we have the highest rates of skin cancer and things like that. Anyway, let's not get into the negativity here. I have a tendency to lean in that direction. Dark Knight also states, I prefer more trees and less grass, so only 4 stars. Point taken. Some more trees would be very nice there. Here is Katie saying, for the countryside view, I'd give it another point for the girl's beautiful long hair and graceful gesture. That is something that is true. The young lady in that video going out and opening the windows and scrolling with her hand really looks like some kind of character from classic romantic literature, you know, from an Arthurian legend or something like that. Very classical in her graceful opening there, which is depicted into that video. Very beautiful young woman. So let's go over to Doug here. Thank you, Katie. Doug says, hey Ed, Night by Night here from YouTube. You got a typo in your header, visible. Happy to be supporting you, Ed. Well, thank you, Doug, for pointing that out. I don't catch all of them. And that's the thing about it. Will I go back and fix it? Well, probably not. I should go back and fix it, but the fact is, once it earns out, my subscribers have seen it. It never gets recommended on YouTube, never goes anywhere. So it's kind of like just getting the video once it's done, and it just gets thrown into a hole in the ground. I should have fixed it, though. I'll take a look at that, Doug. Thank you so much for that. Of course, my spelling is very bad. I actually misspelled reminiscing in the last video that I just did today. Will I go fix it? I don't even know anymore, Doug. I just don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm in control of a ship and I don't even have a compass here. Anyway, let's get to the next one. This is from Coriantumir. Sorry, it is spelled Coriantumir. Coriantumir. So thank you there, Coriantumir. Thank you for that. I finally learned how to pronounce that. Coriantumir. Hi Ed, the comments in the country view say the video was taken. Oh really? I didn't see that, so there we have it. Grindelwald, Sweden. Very interesting. Let's have a Google of that before we start the jokes video. Definitely a 5. Amazing. I absolutely agree. I mean, it's majestic. Let's have a look at where he's saying this is from. Thank you, Coriantumir. Thank you so much for that bit of intel there. Let's go take a look at that location. Be back in 1 second. Just have a Google. Well, here is the actual location here. Absolutely majestic. That would be the location. I'd say the houses fit, the landscape fits, a lot of things fit in that. Look at this place. No wonder there's so many beautiful fairy tales around this region. Look at how shapely and perfect everything is. Look at how perfect it is. It's literally perfect. It's like, you know, you someday you're old in your beard, you pass on to the next world and you're awake there. I'm going to have to do some in-depth research into this location because I think this is the place where I'm going to save up and go on vacation. So I will provide some videos perhaps if I do make my way over there. It's fairly expensive, of course, vacations to take a while. I need a vacation though. Okay? I need to go. Look at this place. Look at the crystal green, beautiful water, the rolling hills, the white clouds. What are you going to do? Okay. The sound of where I live, there's always someone like chainsawing or ripping something down or working on their motorbikes. It is not majestic, not like that. And there's, you know, New Zealand, a lot of people state, you know, they always want to live in New Zealand. They say it's such a beautiful country, and it is a beautiful country. There's no doubt about that. But New Zealand is kind of very strange in the fact that every single place you go to in New Zealand has a completely different feel about it, its own different weather. The actual name for New Zealand is 5 seasons in one day. You can drive from the bottom of, let's say, the North Island to the top and experience 5 seasons. You know, you can experience cold and rain at the bottom, and then when you get to the top, it's hot, like you're living in Italy or something. And it's a very unique country in the world. But New Zealand also has a dark side. Okay, New Zealand has the highest rates of suicide, one of the highest in the world. It has one of the highest rates of teenage pregnancy in the world, unwanted teenage pregnancy. Now, you might say a lot of countries have that, but we also have one of the highest rates of methamphetamine abuse in the world. So you don't see that on your commercials on television, on the millions of dollars that are paid in advertising. One of New Zealand's main advertising mechanisms, revenue streams, is tourism. You just don't see those, but those being real. What about this place? Because there's more to a place than the beautiful scenery. What is the socio-economic conditions? What's the unemployment conditions? What's the drug abuse and depressionary symptoms? That's how you find a utopia. Don't look so much on the beautiful location, because New Zealand, some places look absolutely picturesque, and there's some places that are like heaven in New Zealand. There are some places like that. But you really have to look at the socio-economic conditions. So let's do a little bit more research into this in the next video and see if we can find some statistics in this wonderful, majestic location. Look at this. It's like something off a calendar. Those white, snowy mountains there, and look at that. Look at it. It's like flowers that they've just planted there. All these beautiful houses with gardens. So it looks like a fantastic place. Here is the little town it looks like, and you've got these are more apartment complexes. This is more probably snow and ski related there. Of course, Switzerland's known, of course, for its beautiful meadows. Look at that. A meadow right beside, in the distance, a mountain full of snow. Wow, just such a contrast there. Anyway, let's get off this because we will be here for quite a while. Of course, you expect with these tourism photos, of course, they're going to show their best, most beautiful places. So it doesn't mean to say that this place is absolutely amazing. It just looks amazing. Look at that. I just love the architecture as well. I love that kind of architecture. And look at all these yachts. There's some yachts in the harbour there. That's a very nice location. So where was that location he was stating? This is in Switzerland. I just talked about Switzerland today in today's video, as a matter of fact. Seems the wars never come to Switzerland. Everyone's got an AK-47, literally in their house. Everyone's got a gun cabinet with a machine gun in it, because they don't have a standing army, and there's never any mass shootings. I bet, actually, they don't have fluoride in their water either. They don't have fluoride in their water. I'd love to see some statistics there out of Switzerland. Beautiful location. Thank you for that link there, Coriantumir. Thank you so much. Took me a while to learn how to pronounce that, by the way. Let's go off to 20 jokes. Here we are. These are the 20 jokes. So let's take a look at these. The first one is a joke. After God created 24... Well, let's read the entire post here. It looks like I'm going to have to stick these up singly. After God created 24 hours of alternating darkness and light, one of the angels asked him, "What are you going to do now?" God said, "I think I'm going to call it a day." I see. Okay, I see the joke there. It's just that I don't find that literally funny at all. I mean, it's a bit artful in its language, but apart from that, I just don't find it funny. I don't know why. Why don't I find that funny? Does anyone else find that funny? Okay, so the ranking system from 1 to 5, is this, I actually find it funny, I'm going to give it a 1. If I don't find it funny, I'm just going to give it a 0. Okay, so that one, I'm going to give it a little 0 there. I'm just going to give that a 0. So the next joke here is a husband comes home to his wife with a duck in his hands and says, "This is the pig I've been effing." Okay, I've been having sexual relations with. The wife says, "That's not a pig, that's a duck." The husband says, "I wasn't talking to you." Okay, a husband comes home to his wife with a duck in his hands and says, "This is the pig I've been having sexual relations with." The wife says, "That's not a pig, that's a duck." The husband says, "I wasn't talking to you." 4,900 upvotes. What is that? I mean, that's not even like... This subreddit's got 14 million subscribers. And that's really the joke. That is a 0 on my scale. That's two strikes. Okay, so let's try this one. This one is a long one. It states here. So this is number 3. We should have a counter. I'm not going to remember this. We're on number 3 though. A husband and wife are sitting quietly in bed reading when a wife looks over at him and asks him, if you have to have a super long kind of like joke, I'm not sure that's a joke anymore. But anyway, a husband and wife are sitting quietly in bed reading when the wife looks over at him and asks him the following questions. Wife, what would you do if I died? Would you get married again? Husband, definitely not. Wife, why not? Don't you like being married? Okay, yeah. Husband, of course I do. Wife, then why wouldn't you remarry? Husband, okay, I'd get remarried. Wife, you would? With a hurt look. Husband, makes an audible groan. Wife, would you live in our house? It is pretty funny, actually. It's pretty funny. Husband, sure, it's a great house. Wife, would you sleep with her in our bed? Husband, where else would we sleep? Would you let her drive my car? Probably, it's almost new. Wife, would you replace my pictures with hers? Husband, that would seem like the proper thing to do. Wife, would you give her my jewelry? Husband, no, I'm sure she'd want her own. Wife, would you take her golfing with you? Husband, yes, there's always good times. Wife, would she use my clubs? Husband, no, she's left-handed. Okay. So that's the definitive answer at the bottom there, implying, I guess, that the husband already has someone in mind. I'm not sure. But, you know, it's humorous. I'd give it a 1. It's kind of a humorous kind of thing. So here is the version that this person remembers. The version I know ends a little bit differently. Would she use my clubs? No, of course not. Wife brightens up and smile. She's left-handed. Okay, I'd say that would be a 1. I mean, it's humorous. I wouldn't say it's like cackling with laughter there, but it's humorous. That's number 3. So let's go to number 4. What's a horse's primary concern when voting? A stable economy. I mean, that's kind of a bad joke that makes you laugh a bit. I don't know. Give it a 0. I mean, it's not particularly that good. So there's number 5 here. While teaching class, let's take a look at this one. A teacher trying to teach good manners asks her students the following question. Michael, if you were on a date having dinner with a nice young lady, how would you tell her that you have to go to the bathroom? How would you, Michael? Michael said, just a minute, I have to go pee. Okay. The teacher responded by saying, that would be rude and impolite. What about you, Sherman? How would you say it? Sherman said, I'm sorry, but I really need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. That's better. But it's still, I guess this is the teacher again, they just forgot to put teacher here. That's better, but it's still not very nice to say the word bathroom at the dinner table. And you, little Johnny, can you use your brain for once and show us some good manners? Johnny said, I would say, darling, may I please be excused for a moment? I have to shake hands with a very dear friend of mine. I hope to introduce you to after dinner. Okay. Well, that's a 0 again. I think that's number 5. We're going to have to get the counter. I'll be back 1 second here. Okay, got it set up. That's number 5. So let's go to number 6. Have a look at this one. So this is 2 little boys stole a big bag of oranges from a neighbor. They decided to go to a quiet place to share the lot equally. Sorry, this is number 6 now, isn't it? One of them suggested the nearby cemetery. As they were jumping over the gate to enter the cemetery, 2 oranges fell out of the big bag, but they didn't bother to pick them since they had enough in the bag. A few minutes later, a drunkard on his way home from a bar passed near the cemetery gate and heard a voice saying, one for me, one for you, one for me, one for you, one for me, one for you. He immediately sobered up and ran as fast as he could to the church nearby for the priest. Father, please come with me. Come and witness God and Satan sharing corpses at the cemetery. They both ran back to the cemetery gate, and the voice continued, one for me, one for you, one for me, one for you, one for me, one for you. Suddenly the voice stopped counting and said, what about the 2 at the gate? Well, it's a little story, isn't it? I mean, I'd class that as a story, not really a joke. Implying the 2 at the gate, of course, the priest and the drunkard. So I'm giving that a 0. Let's go to number 7 here. We need a number 5. Where are the number 5s in this world? Number 5. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Again, that had... What is this with these upvotes? They don't... It seems like almost like they're engineered or something. I mean, this one has 4,000. That is 33,000. And this one, this upvoted one, has 139 votes. There's a massive differential there. It doesn't make sense. Okay, number 7 here. I've always wondered what my parents did to fight boredom before the internet. I asked my 19 brothers and sisters and they don't know either. Implied that obviously they had sexual relations. I think that's it's a 0. I don't know. It might be funny. So now we are on number 8. Going to get a loose track here. 2 prisoners are on death row, and the day of their execution has come. The wardens turn to the first prisoner and ask, any last requests? I'd really like to hear the excuse me for a moment, I'll just pause it. Apologise for that, just had to get a drink of water there. It went down the wrong the wrong pipe. Let's have a look at this joke here, see if there's any more. Okay, so it's the same. 2 prisoners are on death row, and the day of the execution has come. The warden turns to the first prisoner and asks, any last requests? The prisoner says, I'd really like to hear the Macarena one last time, he replies. The warden nods. Very well, and you? He asks the second prisoner, kill me first. It's a 0. It is a 0. That is not funny at all. Okay. Where do mansplainers get their water? From a well, actually. Okay, so the new social justice warrior word is mansplaining. Maybe it's a real entity, I don't know, probably. The main point is I guess that when the sentence is broken up and then you say well and then you go on to mansplaining, that is started by well, would be my guess. That is a 0. I think we're up to 10. We're up to 10 now, aren't we? Yes, of course we are up to 10. Okay, we're going to have to widen this a bit. There we are, number 10. A guy applies for a job. Why can't they just have the total joke in here? Why do you have to click in order to see the other sentences? I don't get that. Don't mean to. I don't know. I just... Like, why can't you just put it all in one line and it would all fit in there? You don't have to have it expanded. A guy applies for a job with the LAPD. Inspector says, these are the best qualifications I've ever seen. Just one more test before you get the job. Take this gun and go out and shoot 6 black guys and a rabbit. Okay, guy replies, why the rabbit? Inspector says, fantastic attitude, you've got the job. Look, I mean, this is engineered. I think these are engineered jokes. I don't mean to jump into a conspiratorial frame of mind. This thing looks engineered. All of these things with mansplaining, racist jokes like that to imply the LAPD is absolutely racist. Maybe they are, but aren't jokes supposed to be funny? And that is really, I mean, does that make people laugh? I feel like I'm reading a psyop. That's what I feel like. I'm reading a psyop now. And of course with 14 million, you know, this has got 14 million subscribers and this has got 190 votes and this is at the top of Reddit Jokes, the subreddit. Why is that at the top? 14 million subscribers and it's got 34 comments. It's got 14 million subscribers. Kidnapper on the phone. We have your son. Kidnapper on phone. We have your son. Wife, actually I'm holding my son. Kidnapper getting frustrated. Then who the heck just asked for a chocolate milk with a straw and made us cut the crust off his P&J? Oh my god. What? Wife, you have my husband. I'm not going to click on it there because I can see the actual last phrase. Well, let's just check. This is almost This is almost torture. I'd rather be looking at pictures of Switzerland. I mean, what is that? That's not a joke. Well, next time I'm going to go to funny memes or something, because the memes actually some of them are actually quite hilarious. We're at 12 here. 12 abominations so far. So here's number 12. Can't escape dad jokes when you're a dad. Right, let's just take a look at this. This is probably the worst joke. Can't escape dad jokes when you're a dad. Son in crowded store. Hey dad, do you know where mum went? Me, knowing mum can hear around the corner. Just ask some people where the most beautiful woman in the store is. Mum snorts, laughs from around the corner. Me, and see if she has seen your mum. Silence. Can't lie, that was a good one. I don't know about that one. I don't even understand what it means. Here's a promoted one, a good old ad with 0 upvotes, 0 comments. Long, one of the funniest vampire jokes I've ever heard. Oh, really? Off to number 13, one of the most funniest. Let's have a look here. 3 vampires are having a competition to prove who's the most vicious vampire amongst them. The strongest one started first. So the strongest one is starting first. Okay, they're the first ones to speak. So you just have like Vampire 1, Vampire 2. Watch this, he said as he flies so fast, about 100 miles an hour. After only 10 minutes he comes back with blood on his mouth. What happened, they asked. Did you see the house over there? Yes, well, I killed the entire family and sucked the blood dry. Wow, fascinating. As expected from the strongest vampire. I don't remember jokes like this when I was a kid. Like, they used to be like... I don't know, they never used to be... They just kind of used to be different. It's like consciousness has changed or something. Well, it has, hasn't it? The advent of social media and stuff. Then the eldest vampire, 1, takes the next turn. Watch and learn, he said as he flies even faster, about 120 miles an hour. After only 5 minutes, he comes back, etc., and he says he killed every last person in the village and sucked their blood dry. Wow, magnificent, truly amazing. Finally, the last one, this is a punchline. Finally, the last turn belongs to the fastest one. Don't blink or you'll miss it, he said as he flies really fast, even faster than the other two, about 140 miles an hour. After only merely 30 seconds, he comes back with blood all over his mouth, his neck and his nose. What happened, they asked. Did you see the big tree over there? Yes, well, I didn't. So he crashed into the tree because he was super fast vampire. It's the state of the world summed up in a joke, really. No wonder they can't make movies anymore that are actually any good. They have absolutely no imagination anymore. None whatsoever. My wife isn't speaking to me anymore. Another joke here. In case you didn't know. My wife isn't speaking to me anymore because apparently I ruined her birthday. I'm not sure how I did it. I didn't even know it was her birthday. You know what? Okay, just a little bit of something here I have noticed. A lot of these are like mansplaining or directed at the wife or the husband or how many kids they had. Like, it's almost like some kind of like architecture around a psyop where you're trying to highlight the differences between men and women with really bad jokes. It's like all of them are about that. Now, I don't know if that's organic or not, but look at the counters. It's got 40 million subscribers. It's got 115 upvotes. I'm not coming back here. I'm not going to come back here, okay? I'm going to go to a different site next time. I'm going to find something actually funny. So what was that, 15 we just did? No one really cares, do they? At this point, they're kind of like, they just want this video to end. I hate my job as a waiter. Next joke here, 16, but it puts food on the table. Terrible. 17 here, as we grind down. How many crops does it take to change a light bulb? How many cops? They don't. They just arrest the bulb for being broke and beat the room for being black. There is something, this is almost like, there's something going on here. Do you see how this is just really kind of divisionary, all of these? We had the LAPD joke, okay, which highlighted the fact that the cops beat or hurt black people. You had the husband liking the wife, the husband and the wife, it just, you know, what is that? Are they working on a new plan? Is this the next thing in a few weeks will be It's a Good Thing and there'll be a new kind of phase of psyop happening? I don't know, maybe I just need to relax. How many ants does it take to fill an apartment? 10 ants. Tenants. Okay, that's the joke on that. It's play on word meaning tenants. Wow. It's kind of wearing me out, actually. Like, reading these is like taking a piece of my soul every time. Every time it's like coming out and stealing a bit of my spirit away. Is that the real joke? Is that reading the jokes actually is like breaking your spirit apart or something? I don't get it. I don't get it. Cooking with French ingredients always makes me depressed. Yesterday I almost lost a hula d'olive. I don't know. I didn't even understand that. Is that a mochaccino joke? You have to be at a certain tier of education to understand what that means. Yesterday at the zoo I saw a baguette in a cage. The zookeeper told me it was bred in captivity. Bred in captivity. Ha ha ha. Bred in captivity. Very funny. Play a pun on a pun. Let's just go through 3 more. I got fired from my unemployment office on Friday. My boss said, clean out your desk. I'll see you in the office on Monday. Got fired from the unemployment office. Husband, grab some up dog on your way home, hun. Wife, for the last time, Greg, the kids and I are never coming back. Stop calling us, please. Husband, not much. What's up with you? If you drink the liquid from a magic 8-ball, you can see the future. My brother did and immediately looked at me and said he was going to die. Then he died. 45 upvotes, 4 comments. Let's have a look at the comments. Maybe they'll think this is hilarious. My sources say maybe. Yes. Outlook, not good. Definitely not. Try asking again. Let's have a look. My sources say maybe. Let's have a look at one of these commenters here. I just want to see a little bit of the background of these individuals. Okay, so there it looks like they're a commenter. Yeah, I don't know. I apologize for the state of that Patreon video. I apologize for it. Those jokes were absolutely horrendous. They get 0. I'm never going back there. Maybe go back for an investigation to see if it's a psyop. I mean, let's face it, if you have 14 million subscribers, the chances are of a psyop are pretty high. It's a way of inserting suggestion into a population. How would I know though? I mean, it's just like you leave a place like this feeling like, in a way, that let's face it, it's kind of like, you know, you leave Reddit jokes now, you don't feel like it's any kind of humorous jokes, so there was no humor at all. You kind of feel like you're, I don't know, that you haven't had enough sleep or something. You kind of feel like, oh wow, I needed a few hours more sleep. Because like, quantifying in your mind and kind of thinking about it kind of wears you out. It makes you tired. Is that what jokes are supposed to do? Here's another classic. A husband comes home to his wife with a duck in his hands and says, "This is the pig I've been effing." The wife says, "That's not a pig, that's a duck." Husband says, "I wasn't talking to you." How many is that? 4,800 upvotes. This feels like some kind of psychic attack, which is a psyop. It's attacking your psyche, your mind. Remotely, even. That is really what these things are, in my opinion. It's a disastrous kind of website. I'm never going back there. Let's get rid of the counter here. I apologize for that Patreon video. I don't even know what to say about it. I never went to the site because I wanted to see what it was, you know, just go there and record what it was like. I probably should have checked it out and did some research beforehand. Next time I'm going to bring some funny memes or something more humorous or enlightening. You know, some amazing videos or something fun. I don't know what to say about that. In the meantime, though, go out and if you find any joke, put it in the comment section. I'll read it next video. Or if you find a good site with funny things in it, maybe that's better. If you find a good site with anything funny in it, we'll go to that next time and we'll take a look at it. In the meantime, this is Ed. Thank you so much for your support of my account. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. And thank you all for your support. And I look forward to seeing what people think of this video. I'm not expecting to think much of it. I don't know. What do people think of that site? There's something fishy about this site, I'm telling you. I just don't know what it is. But there's something incredibly fishy. Like, it's like some kind of Lynchian movie or something. There's something not right about this. I mean, look at the differentials in the upvotes. 1,300 upvotes. This one's got 139 and it's sitting right beside it. Some of them, you know, 33k, okay, that would be what you might expect for 14 million perhaps, but why are some of these that are at the top here only like 190? This LAPD joke, okay, etc., so on and so forth. This vampire joke, this other one about a wife, you know, this one's only got 78 upvotes. It's got 4 comments. It's got 14 million subscribers. This is the front page of Reddit jokes. So what you have on the front page of something is supposed to be the most upvoted content. It's supposed to be the best of the best. But that's not what we're seeing anymore. Something weird is happening with these places. You know, I don't know what it is, but go out and decide for yourselves. In the meantime, this is Ed from the Outer Light channel and thedailyrabbithole.com. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all tomorrow, and I'll have another Patreon video the day after that. Thank you all for your support, and of course, just because these are bad jokes doesn't mean you have to have a bad day. Go out and do something nice, hopefully. I guess most people are at work though, so in the meantime, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all later.